A to the K.
A to the K.
A to the K. Welcome to the A2theK Wrestling Show with your hosts Carl and Anthony, and as is tradition, let's kick it over to Road Dogg for A2theK's little known fact of the week.
Oh, you didn't know?
Oh yeah, thank you Road Dogg. As we are talking about the Montreal Screwjob this week, I felt it was only right we share a fact from that monumental moment in wrestling history. Anthony, did you know, I'm sure you do, but many people might not, that after the shenanigans of the whole Vince screwing Bret scenario, Britt Baker showed up for a minute. Bret actually knocked Vince McMahon out cold. So you can see some of the aftermath of these events in Bret's Wrestling with Shadows documentary, which I do highly recommend you checking out if you haven't seen it already. But Bret says it only took one punch to knock out Vince McMahon. So for someone who can't bear to,
original one punch man,
see himself sneeze, imagine knowing what it's like to be knocked out in one punch. But yeah, you can see it in the documentary, Vince being kind of held up and escorted away from the locker room backstage. So yeah, there you have it.
He knocked Vince out before Vince became an on-screen character and hit the gym and went a bit nuts, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think maybe he triggered Vince to get all jacked and become world champion just because he got knocked out that one time?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Although, Vince did book himself to become world champion, and he's a mad bastard, and has probably been working out like that ever since, he was about 10.
I'm just wondering if it might have been almost a what if in itself, really.
Ah, I like that. Mm-hmm. What if Bret didn't punch Vince? I love this. It's like the whole fucking butterfly effect thing, isn't it? We're gonna go really deep into this. But yeah, so make sure you do check out this week's unique segments where we talk about what if the Montreal Screwjob never happened. Ooh. But until then,
our series can just take a proper fucking deep dive. This one makes a lot of sense, and we'll talk about it when we get to why we started with this one and why we got to this one. But it's a what if series, which I think is a fucking cool idea. So we could go nuts with this. We could do 1 week just what if Stone Cold didn't like beer? What would happen?
I mean, to be fair, you could the possibilities are endless.
Deep dive.
It doesn't have to be monumental, things. It could just be small, idiosyncrasies.
Exactly.
Cool.
What if there was a six-sided ring? Oh wait.
Oh yeah, we saw that. It's not good. Spoilers. But yeah, so that was A2theK's little known fact of the week, and we'll pass it over to Road Dogg to sing us out once again.
Oh, you didn't know?
Oh yeah, we didn't know. We didn't know.
Well, Carl did.
Well, yeah, I mean, but not many people knew. Maybe we'll call it that. Oh, some people didn't know. Go with that. So yeah, we are talking, Anthony, of course, this week in wrestling, and we'll kick things off with WWE. And we'll talk about our first highlight this week, which was Damien Priest taking on Sheamus. This was good, right? We've seen it enough now. I think we have seen it a couple of times, whether it's in a triple threat or one-on-one.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's not bad, but I think this is kind of the mid-card problem, and it happens on SmackDown as well, where it's you have 3, maybe 4 people involved, and then that's it. Nothing else ever. No one else ever. And then you get this kind of repetition. But I'm not knocking it. As you say, it's still a highlight this week, and they do still put on really good matches together. Yeah,
exactly. I think you've got to give the pair of them the dues. I think it was another... And, Sheamus has been fucking fantastic this year.
He's really needed Raw.
Yeah.
I honestly can't remember where he ended up in the draft, but he needed Raw, and I really hope he's still there.
Yeah, I feel like he's just gone this year. Do you know what? Every match I do is going to be an absolute banger, and you're going to love it. Yeah. And it's we do.
Respect actually. To the man. Got past what I'll call the Jeff Hardy funk. And, now it's just, everything after that has just been gold, to be honest.
Absolutely. But yeah, so, I think it was a great point you made as well about the mid-card. This is what a mid-card should look like. And it's no, disrespect to the likes of Priest or Sheamus. I know Sheamus is a former world champ. Priest is probably a future one. But this is what a kind of mid-card, IC, US kind of, competitors should look like. They should feel big and, almost one step away from being the world champ. And so this is the kind of thing.
Well, this wouldn't be the first time we've had a former world champ go back to the mid-card title. Like it almost adds that level of prestige to it in a way, doesn't it? Like when John Cena went back and had another US title run, it adds that level to it, doesn't it? So it doesn't mean like mid card's just like an easy way of explaining it, isn't it? But Sheamus is a perfect candidate for that at the minute, especially because let's face it, he's not going to be in the world title scene anytime soon by the looks from the way the booking. So it just makes absolute perfect sense.
Certainly does. So yeah, that was my first highlight. Anthony, over to you for the next highlight.
Okay, I'm going to keep it quick, but I will say AJ Styles versus Riddle. And just as a side note, that obviously banger of a match, but Riddle, for whatever reason, this week got me thinking. Riddle has actually done fantastic on the main roster, hasn't he? He's one of the few success stories, as far as I'm concerned, where they haven't just, other than going, well, we're just going to call you Riddle from now on. He's managed to, and I don't know if it's him or whether they've lucked out with certain things, but even stuff that you wouldn't think worked, like the whole RK Bro thing, worked. So I'm just like, I don't know. I think he's been on fire since he come to the main roster. I wasn't even that big on him in NXT. So overall, the match was great, but I just wanted a bit of a mention to Riddle because I actually think he's done fantastic.
Yeah, I can't agree more, to be honest. I think it's so rare, isn't it, that you bring someone up and regardless of what position you put them in, like obviously we've joked saying he's got the gimmick of the guy, that the kid from Home Alone who just asks a lot of questions. And it's just really fucking annoying. But he's made it work, and I think he clearly has the tools to be, a potential future world champ. So, it's interesting.
That's the funny thing, because it's like stuff that you should be rinsing him for. Like, do you remember that one where he was backstage doing a backstage segment? Where I think it was with Asuka.
I just forgot what his line.
Just scooted off. Yeah. And I'm like, that shouldn't have worked, and it shouldn't have been funny, but it was. And you look at everyone else who come up around the same time, the likes of good old Bearcat and Carrion and that, and you go, all right, Carrion, he hasn't done anything atrocious that's ruined his character, but he's just there. Do you know what I mean? No one's been as successful as Riddle in that sort of, what do you call it? That particular call up of people. Yeah. I know they weren't technically called up at the same time. They kind of got it in that year,
Didn't he even cut a promo on a carrot or something at one point with Bray Wyatt? I remember our Brad always brings it up.
He did. I forgot about that.
Do you know what I mean?
Didn't he because didn't he interact with the with Ramblin' Rabbit backstage?
Yeah.
As part of it, yeah. But again, shouldn't work. But he's here and he's fucking doing brilliantly.
There you go. Yeah, I've got no complaints. And plus AJ Styles, I don't want to shit on the tag team stuff he's done with Omos. I think it's been good for Omos, but it hasn't been great for AJ. So to have him in a kind of higher profile one-on-one match with the likes of Riddle, I thought was good for him as well. He feels like he's underutilized this year.
He is, and I think it has been a case of let's try and get Omos over. But I don't even think they've done much with them as a pair either, to be honest with you. So I'm not quite sure what the end goal was.
Yeah,
they obviously no longer got the title, so I don't know. I really don't know what they were going for with that as a team.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they probably didn't know themselves, but
no.
There you go, WWE boy. So the next highlight, Shayna Baszler's face turn is what I'm calling it, because last week she beat the shit out of Nia Jax. This week she beat the shit out of Eva Marie. How can you not love her? She's my new. She's the hottest babyface in the company right now, in my opinion. I just loved it. I thought, I've been fuming for weeks and weeks now about Eva Marie and just why is she even on this show. The constant matches with Doudrop and, even Doudrop herself is it's a terrible, gimmick she's had to kind of take on.
Piping Evan any favours, really.
No, of course not. But then, Shayna Baszler, my new number one babyface. Love it. Please beat up more people that I don't like, and I will love you forever.
We're going to send you a list.
Yeah, just check the emails. So highlight from me, Shayna Baszler is cool.
Okay. My next one, Carl, one I think we can both agree on. The main event of Raw. The hair business being back. Hopefully not just a one-off thing. They weren't really clear on that. I mean, they weren't really clear on why they broke them up either. It was just suddenly he's a constant.
They weren't even clear about why they were back. It was just almost the next minute he turned up at ringside and it was like,
hey!
What? Have I been in a coma?
To maybe just forget about that. And you know what? I was utterly convinced, and the draft stuff's kind of ruined this for me. I was utterly convinced they're trying to have more trios so that the New Day and Big E can be more prominent. And they fucked that. We'll talk about that at another time, but they fucked that up. So I'm not quite sure what the end goal is there.
Do you know what? Part of me was thinking.
changes.
I was thinking, should I put a slide up at the end of this, which kind of shows all the movements? But I guess we'll do that next week, because we'll be chatting about.
Yeah, well, I think because I reckon it's probably better next week, because I think there's still going to be, when they do that whole, we've got a few days after to do some negotiating and shit like that. Although I was at work this day, we got like the same two people running both shows, so who they're negotiating with, I have no fucking idea.
We'll talk about that at some point. Trust me, we will.
I think it's better if we wait a little bit longer for the some changes to take effect. I
mean, let's be honest, none of it's actually going to happen until after Crown Jewel anyway. So it's like, well, why do it like a month early? Yeah,
that's a fair point. But yeah, obviously, the whole bit with Drew coming out at the end. I think we know some stuff since this original notes. Obviously, it was like it was heavily suggested that he was going to be moved to SmackDown, and this kind of made it feel like he probably won't. But obviously, again, no spoilers, but he has. So I don't know now. What has happened?
I mean, I think it's been announced that we'll get Drew versus Biggie at Crown Jewel. So I think that's the way around.
Still working to that, but I never have faith in Crown Jewel, and I should, because of what happened to Bray. I never have faith in Crown Jewel, but like, this isn't going to be Drew's return to the title scene, is it? This is a one-off match with Big E.
Doesn't seem like it.
He's not going to be the one who topples Big E.
No.
So, but yeah, again. Why do we keep turning negative? I'm a positive person. It's a positive podcast. Main event was great, and I sincerely hope we see more of the hair business, and that's me highlight.
Okay. Moving swiftly over to SmackDown, I just wanted to call out Roman versus Brock. Despite the fact we've seen it a couple of times before, it still feels fresh. It's the first time we've seen face Brock versus heel Roman. And it just feels different. The fact we've never seen it in the reverse. So I like the fact that
it's a little weird as well, because it does feel like they're fighting for Heyman and not the belt. But whatever.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm half expecting to, Heyman on a pole match.
No, it's modern. It's modern day WWE. They're gonna put him in a shark cage hanging above the ring for some reason.
Of course. Yeah, it'll be a rib. We find out that he's scared of heights, so it's like, let's put him in a shark cage. So
how many times did they do that? Did it with AJ, I think. They did it with
Enzo.
Remember Enzo? Yeah. He had to be in the cage.
Explicitly because he was terrified of heights. Like, they literally did it to fuck with him. Because, that's the kind of WWE. But yeah, so I'm a big fan of this feud. I think it's exciting. Like, to your point, I don't think any major titles are going to change a Crown Jewel. But that being said, we've seen shit happen before, so
I know the Roman one would be a massive shock, because they've made it personal and they've kind of made it about Heyman. The title really doesn't matter in this match. It does, obviously, but it doesn't matter in this match. Like, you're not going to be upset if Roman takes the win, and I'd actually probably be more upset if they put the title back on Brock.
Yeah,
so
you've got to figure something's going to happen, some kind of shenanigan or something where Heyman is going to side with Roman, and then obviously create a bit of tension between him and Brock. Or something. Like, there's no way Roman will go over Brock clean, just, fair and square. There's got to be something which happens.
Do you think Brock's going to have the 3 count and Heyman's going to, like, distract the ref or something and make it obvious whose side he's on?
Yeah, something like that. And then obviously Brock will be all hurt, like, Paul, what are you doing?
Right. Or inside scoop, right? Heyman has actually secretly been hitting the gym week after week after week, and he's secretly jacked, right? And at some point, he's just going to climb up to the top turnbuckle and just frog splash the fuck out of everyone.
I mean, I can see Heyman lifting Brock up for an F5, to be honest. Yeah. Mark my words.
And just because he's an absolute troll, he's going to do the you can't see me stuff as well.
Yeah, I mean,
bring back the FU.
I would love that, to be fair. I would fucking love it. So yeah, fingers crossed we get that.
Crown Jewel, anything can happen. You throw enough Saudi money at it, anything can happen.
That's true.
Yeah, so I totally agree with that one. Last highlights, I think, for WWE and for me, I'm going to say Seth Rollins again, and I feel like we say this a lot, but always a top heel. I don't know. It wasn't exactly the same, and I've seen some people criticize this in some way. The whole breaking into Edge's house thing. It is something a bit different for the modern day product. I think it was a really good way to get around them sort of on the show, but apart from each other kind of thing. But a lot of people have likened it to the whole Pillman's got a gun stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but that was the Attitude Era. Like, are you upset that he didn't have a gun? What are we getting at here? Like, I don't know. I get it. We've done like people breaking into people's houses before, but how long has it been? It's still different, and it's something. It's better than just let's go to the ring, cut a promo. So no, I enjoyed it, and again, Rollins with a mic in his hand. Well, obviously, kind of not in this case, but Rollins as a talker is always fantastic.
Rollins with a camera in his face. It's money, baby. Yeah. Except for that video, which hasn't come out yet. Which I'm sure someone will find.
I can't remember the name of the award itself, but obviously Rollins has recently won I want to call it the Bumpy Award. I could be wrong on that. From the Bump for Best Dressed. So that's a prestige in itself.
Hella drip for Seth Rollins. That's what I'll say. I'm sure Johnny Drip will be fuming, but
Oh, he's proper jelly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it for my highlights, Carl. I think that's it for highlights as a whole. So
that is it for highlights. Oh, that sounds like my cue. Let's talk about some more shite, shall we? The Authority, man. What the fuck, right? So yeah, I love how they just come out and they're like, yeah, you know what? We'll just do a steel cage match. Like, yeah, there's always a cage up there, fucking, in the sky. I'm sure there's like a fucking Punjabi prison, elimination chamber. Why not? It's got everything up there in the fucking ceiling.
Even though they tour regularly, there's everything they need. There's always a hand. There's caskets everywhere. It's insane.
That's it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I don't get.
That sounded weird. For casket matches, I want to be clear.
And for straight up burials. But no, I think, at least with AEW, and they're like, they will announce stuff in advance. They're like, next week, we're getting this. And you always know what's happening, what's to come. And it makes sense. WWE do this kind of thing where they're like, oh, well, we have no idea what we're doing. I know, we'll have a steel cage match. And they'll announce it on the show. But not like, like everything's prepared, ready for this. Adam Prius comes out and he's like, well, you guys will defend it inside
Did you call him a Prius?
Yeah, why not? He'll come out and be like, yeah, we're just going to defend it inside a steel cage then. And it's like, well, how? Like, are you going to put that up during commercial break? Like, piece by piece? What is the fucking plan here? Surely it'll take longer than that.
Why are you pretending to be random?
Yeah, so
I've always had, and that is a much more egregious example, but I've always had issue with this whole, well, I guess we'll have a match then. It's like, so you had no card planned. Like, why are we pretending like you had no card planned? This is ridiculous.
It's mental.
The amount of times that happens, someone comes out and talks, and then it kicks off, and they go, well, we'll have a match next. It's like, well, who have you bumped off the card to do that?
I just think this whole Authority angle is dated now. Like, it worked when it was Vince McMahon is the Authority.
I think the trouble is towing the line. I still maintain you need someone there. When it was, and I'm not having a go at Sonya by any means, because it could be either of them for me. But when it was just Adam Pearce to turn up and go, yeah, that match is going to happen, or someone needs to complain, or like when Kevin Owens was like, I need to deal with Sami Zayn or whatever, and he goes to try and coerce somebody into booking that match. Those are the times you need it. And I always cite it as the perfect example for me is William Regal.
Yeah.
William Regal is an authority figure for NXT, or certainly was last time I checked. And he's not in your face all the time. He's there when you need him. He's there to turn up and go, War Games, and then back on. Right? And that's all we need. Like, it's just the trouble is they can't leave well enough alone. They don't need to be on TV constantly. It's just you have someone there when you need to make it look like somebody actually controls what's going on.
Yeah. And again, everyone would be like, oh, AEW fanboy. But, like, everybody knows, in AEW, Tony Khan makes the matches. He's never on screen. He doesn't need to be. At the end of the day, it's like he's making the matches.
That's all I need, because what I hate is that whole inmates run the asylum kind of vibe.
Yeah.
When it's like someone attacks someone and it's like, right, we're going to have a match next. And it's like, why? How can you do that? Who are you?
Yeah.
Like, so, we don't need it the way they're doing it, and it is a very dated thing. I totally agree.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Pierce and Deville are just another level of awfulness. We had the whole Authority stuff that we had last time, but it's so redundant now. And like the fact you do get stuff like this where it's like, well, I guess you're going to defend your title in a steel cage then. It's like, Like literally, how does that work? I don't get it.
No, exactly. Well, it doesn't. It's like you say. It's just pretending like they haven't pre-planned it.
Yeah.
Why? Because why not?
Yeah.
Baffling. So my next one, Carl, and I don't think this will surprise you, and I'm hoping you totally agree. Ricochet versus Reggie.
Uh-huh.
And that's because we all know exactly why they decided to book Ricochet versus Reggie.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. It's a bit of a slap in the face for Ricochet compared to where he was on the card and where he was in NXT. No offense to Reggie, but Reggie's 24/7 champ and he's a sideshow act who can't wrestle. So the fact that it's like Ricochet has been put into that position, why? Because he can do flips and stuff. Bullshit.
100%.
Fucking hated it. And I feel bad for him because he has got a ton of athleticism. Ricochet, like the fact that like the leaps he can do from to and from the ring are impressive, but that's not all he's about. And that's the difference, isn't it? That's the difference. Reggie can do big flips, and he can do that. He can't wrestle or talk, or be likable.
Yeah.
How has he got a championship?
How's he got any TV time in the first place? He's had more.
You put a belt on the man.
He's had more TV time over the last few months than fucking Hart. Like most of the top guys. To be fair, he's always on there. Whether he's the fucking sommelier, whether he's doing the weird shit with Sasha, whether he's now doing every week he's on the show. And it's like you've got like loads of fucking people, especially like the women's division, who can't even get on the show. It's like, are you messing?
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm being unfair here, but Reggie, for me, hasn't done enough to even merit being on the show that much.
No, he is a sideshow, and I think it speaks volumes on what they think of Ricochet, which is a damn shame because Ricochet is fucking talented. He's a fantastic performer, and they have literally just gone, well, Ricochet's not done much. He can do flips. Well, yeah, we've kind of done Reggie flipping off trucks and stuff the last couple of weeks. Let's have him in a match with someone else who can do flips.
I love the way you explain. Reggie's just there like, truck.
Fuck you, truckers. But yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Ricochet's kind of in this sort of, and I don't want to do this whole sort of, what do you call it? People are going to be like, oh, it's not what they like, but it is. Like, he's not the big sweaty men that Vince likes, and we've kind of trying to go back to that form, aren't we? So they're not bothered about people like Adam Cole or, your smaller, more technical guys are sort of, they're kind of looked down on at the minute with the current Nick Khan Vince connection. And I think Ricochet is a prime example of that. They've nothing for him. They're not interested.
I've said it before. I will say it again. Raw, especially, is a variety performance show. It is literally about 50% wrestling, even if that, and the rest is other stuff.
Right, 100% now, Carl. That if you can get over there and get to the performance center, right, and you just have the ability to juggle, you'll probably get on the show.
Yeah, of course.
Don't even worry if you can't wrestle or even take a bump or anything, Carl. If you figure out how to juggle, right, you get on there, you'll be on Raw. No worries. You'll be in Raw within a couple of weeks. No problem at all.
The thing is, though, is true. It's like, even like further back than this, it's like, guitar playing. You've had Elias, you've had Rick Boogs and stuff like that. It's like they've literally got the time because they can play an instrument. It's like, if you've got any skill, any fucking skill set outside of actually being a wrestler, you'll make it on this wrestling show. It is bizarre.
Yeah. No, it is, but now you mention Elias, though, it's bizarre. His promo was so accurate, wasn't it? When he bent his guitar and said Elias is dead because we haven't seen him since.
Well, yeah, he's fucking dead.
I thought they meant they were changing his character. It turns out now he's gone.
Yeah. Pretty on the nose way to write someone off telly, I think. So yeah, but, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, absolute travesty.
Poor Ricochet.
Poor Ricochet.
So the next one, Anthony, Bearcat.
No comment.
Yeah. I just don't get it. I know there was someone back in the day called Bearcat, and he was a black guy and he was a wrestler, and I get it.
Here's the thing, though, right? It's so like I've no problem paying homage to the original Bearcat. Apologies, I don't remember his name. Way before my time. And I understand wanting to pay homage, but why randomly now is the bit that bothers me. He was on the main roster as Keith Lee, as the Limitless one, as a babyface, and the minute you turn him heel, you suddenly go, well, let's call him Bearcat, and then go, it's to pay homage to this guy. It's like, why when he's being a bad guy, especially? Like, why are you randomly changing his name now?
That's what I don't get. Like, they already had these marketable things. They had Bask in His Glory. They had, Limitless. They had all these things. He was already starting to kind of have that character. And okay, they're going to turn him heel. Cool. You don't then go, well, we'll give him a nickname of Bearcat. Why? Why would you do that? And we'll have him come out in he's got scratches on him like a bear. And it's like...
And again, apologies because I know it's not a name you're allowed to mention in wrestling these days, but there's claw marks just reminded me of Benoit.
I mean, shit.
Where my head went to straight away.
Yeah.
The minute I saw his attire, and obviously it's not on the legs, but the minute I saw those 3 claw marks, it just reminded me of Benoit. Yeah.
I mean, great shout, to be fair. Yeah, I didn't realise, but yeah, you're right. But, I mean, even the fact that they've kind of brought him out this way, and it's like Tozawa stuck around for no reason. They bring out Bearcat, and he beats him up, and it's like, oh, no shit, Keith Lee can beat up Tozawa. What's that telling anyone?
Because, you see, he's a bit like a bear, but he's nimble, like a cat.
I can't even remember what his entrance theme was this week, but it wouldn't surprise me if next week he's like, rah, meow. Yeah, okay. He'll probably have some kind of gospel, fucking gospel thing. Oh, don't even think about that. I fucking hate them animations as well. But yeah, you just know for a fact the fucking Def Rebel are going to go, needs a bit of gospel. We do that for everyone else's. So it'd be like, rah, meow. And then it'll just be like, yeah. Literally, that's it. Theme. Yeah. Book it. But anyway, yeah. Keith Lee is Bearcat, and we hate it. Poor Keith Lee.
Sorry, I'm just not sold on it. I get it, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. Like, I get they're trying to pay homage. I find it a strange choice now, and Keith.
I don't even see how they're paying homage to him, to be fair. I don't get it. Get it.
You know that guy who, we kind of ruined since he came to the main roster? Like, why not, pick someone who's in the main event scene, maybe? Wouldn't that be more respectful and more of a homage? No? Okay. Never mind. Yeah. Anyway, no offense to Keith. Keith's great. So my next one, Carl. Again, I'm not going to harp on this because it's me. And I'm going to try not to. I'm a positive guy now. Goldberg reading his promo. Got to be a down for me. And I'm not. You can contribute if you want, Carl, but I'm calling it there. I am not going to go after Goldberg again. Not today.
You've changed, man. DDP has done a number on you. Normally, you'd be out here saying, why was he on the show? Why is he hyping up Saudi? Why is he reading off a monitor? Look, it's fucking Goldberg. Why is he even here? All this kind of stuff.
Our unique segments, right, is going to be talking about Bret Hart for quite a bit, right?
Yeah.
Goldberg's going to come up, right?
He will.
So I'm going to try and limit the amount of Goldberg in this show. So I'm not going to say anything other than it was down for me this week. No, we can't use that. That's too. It was no shy for me this week.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I think you've got kids. I've got kids. You hurt my kids, so let's fight. It's pretty much the whole premise of this.
Kids. I've got kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's. I mean, he's never really been a talker. Why they're trying to do this, I don't know.
No. Yeah, me neither. So I'm going to touch on, Anthony, what we spoke about a minute ago, right?
Oh, thank fuck for that. You scared me for a second.
I'm just going to
touch me. I'm all the way over here.
Just going to touch myself. Right, the draft took place this week. Obviously, we will give our thoughts on that next week when obviously everything, all the dust is settled. But yeah,
I'll apologise.
Just throwing it out there.
We did touch on this earlier, and I didn't realise it was in these notes. But yeah, do it.
But yeah, just throwing it out there. Who's making the draft picks? If Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville are kind of running both shows, who's picking? Why? What are they doing? Why are they doing it?
Any decisions get made?
I don't. At least in that terrible year when they had the Fox execs and the USA execs, and they were all there and they were going, "We got Natalya, yeah!" And it was all what the fuck. At least that made a bit of sense because it was okay, the networks are doing this. That cool, right? Pierce and Deville run both shows.
I actually kind of like the network thing,
What are they doing?
Be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it was better than this. And
it's definitely better than
SmackDown
this, but
picks.
I kind of liked it.
I say, well, who is SmackDown? You're saying SmackDown picks. Who is it? It's you. What are you doing?
Show. It's a sentient being now.
It's them little robots they've got, that are part of the fucking 3D
the
animation.
SmackDown robot.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
I beg Natalia. Not again. Yeah.
Or they just got like some sort of Alexa device backstage. SmackDown, what's your pick?
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's probably like that old South Park episode of how Family Guy makes their shows. Got a fucking bunch of dolphins back there just literally smashing their head against something and picking random superstars. So, yeah.
I love it.
Don't get it.
I don't know why we're talking about South Park. You ever see that one where Kyle's trying to get a refund on something, like the economy had crashed or whatever, and he's trying to get a refund on a blender for some fucking reason? Or was it Stan? Anyway, a very similar joke, but it just tickles me. And they're like trying to determine how much of a refund he gets because the economy's gone fucked and they don't know what anything's worth. The solution to it was they just cut the head off a chicken and it ran round like this circle of different choices. And just wherever it landed was like, what do you got?
Yeah.
It was like, the fuck is this? But it's a very similar joke, but it tickled me.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a random South Park moment that I remembered this week on A2theK.
There you go. That's the kind of insight you get on this show. But yeah, so I don't get it. I don't get what Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville bring to either show, let alone what they brought to the draft or how any of it works.
They went as simple as it being established. Vince McMahon calls them into their office, or his office, or whoever's office, and he's like, you're going to be in charge of Raw draft choices and you're going to be in charge of SmackDown draft choices. So they kind of, even just for that moment, have to go against each other.
Well, exactly. Like, that would have at least been something. Bit of tension, bit of like, it would have made sense. But yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, nobody really cares because apparently you can just put people where you want anyway.
Yeah.
Like, at no point has the draft ever really mattered in the last couple of years. So, fuck it. I don't care either.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a no shite for me, Anthony.
Okay, so this is actually the only mention of NXT you're going to get this week. It was a reasonable show. It didn't get any highlights for me, but it did get one shite, and that is my next one, Carl, and that is the Dexter Lumis stuff. Please just stop it now. Like, it was bad enough, right, when we have to do the whole wedding thing, which is a bit overdone. We're on honeymoon with these fuckers now. Just let it go.
Yeah.
We're done.
And the whole thing with Gargano, like following them around with like binoculars and hiding in places, like, oh, come on.
Like, honestly, WWE, this is not the indies that people are referring to. Let it go.
I like that. Sorry. I like that. Yeah, it's kind of ruining Dexter for me, which I think he has the potential to be a megastar. So, yeah, not a fan.
While he's doing his comedy stuff, like, you'd have to let it go. If he gets to the main roster and they give him that sort of mysterious, intimidating gimmick back, awesome. But they've totally fucking ruined it right now.
What a funny idea. Goes to the main roster and gets better. Never happens. So yeah, sad times. And the last shite for WWE this week, Anthony, is dashing Cody Rhodes. No, sorry, I mean Carmella. She's got a mask now, because obviously she's all hideous and ugly, and we haven't seen that before. Yeah.
What happened?
Well, apparently, she got her nose broke, didn't she? Now she's hideous. And it's almost like, well, hang on a minute. Didn't we see Cody Rhodes do that about, like, 10 years ago or something?
So what they've done is, right, I really appreciate the Goldie Rhodes? Fuck it, why not? But old Goldie Rhodes, yeah. I appreciate that comparison, because it does kind of remind you of that. Although his mask was a lot less...
gimpy?
Yeah. Yes. But what I think was an interesting parallel is she broke her nose and her reaction is to freak out and wear a mask and like, oh, I'm hideous. The last girl who broke her nose prominently on a pay-per-view became over as fuck and was roundly known as the Man.
Yeah.
Interesting that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, shows you what the women's evolution was to what it is now.
Yeah. I think,
WWE.
I feel like they are literally rehashing a bunch of gimmicks. They've kind of gone, what haven't we done for a while? Let's bring that back on someone else. There's a few different things now that have kind of cropped up, and it's just kind of like...
Okay, I'm going to call it now then. At some point, they're gonna fire Kevin Owens, and he's going to come back wearing a really obvious mask. Like Mr. America. and they're going to
Mr. Canada.
try and.
Oh,
Mr.
that's
Canada.
the Miz. That's the Miz.
Fuck it is. Yeah. Or wasn't he the Calgary kid or something? But
the point is, it's already been done. It's like
it has.
It's worse at this point than Simpsons did it. It's like WWE did it again. Like they've done everything multiple times.
Yeah, so I'm trying to pick the most ridiculous gimmick I can remember from that day. So I'll pick Hulk Hogan's, and yeah, we've already done it with the Miz. God damn it!
There we go. So that was WWE this week, Anthony. For me, it gets a 2. There was some excitement with the draft. There was a couple of interesting bits and matches that took place, but nothing to get it higher than a 2 for me, unfortunately, this week.
I actually totally agree with you. I think a 2 is perfectly right, especially because there was a bit of excitement with the draft. Should have been a lot more fucking exciting with the draft.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it next week when everything's settled down and we know fully what everyone is. But so far, it looks shit what they've done anyway. Yeah, I can't see it having a positive effect anyway, really.
No, I think we've already kind of discussed this as like one of the segments for next week is looking at the quality of the actual rosters now. Because you look at it and it's like they were kind of going, oh, here's what the rosters look like post draft, and it's like it's awful. Just who are the stars? Who is the talent? Not a great draft and not a great time at the moment for WWE, if we're being honest. So we'll see. Weirdly enough, Crown Jewel looks pretty stacked, and it's like, why can't the rest of the shows look like that?
Because money. Yeah, money, Carl.
And it also wouldn't surprise me if the stuff we're seeing on Crown Jewel is already rematches, because we know we've seen everything already a million times, which kind of, is part of the reason why everything feels a bit underwhelming. So that was WWE. Let's move swiftly on to AEW. Anthony, you got the first highlight. Tell us about it.
Oh, I'm sure we can all agree on this one, Carl. Another, yet again, slightly broken record from the pair of us, I think, here. But another fantastic opening match. And this is something I think... I love the way AEW kick off their shows. Because it gets you pumped, gets you ready. So we had Adam Cole going up against Jungle Boy. And you know what? Fucking banger of a match. The pair of them work fantastically together. The only guilty thing I think you can say is it went how you'd expect it to go on some level, even to the point that you kind of knew there was going to be shenanigans at the end. But all in all, I think it was a solid opener and definitely deserves to be a highlight.
I cannot agree more. I think when it was announced, it's one of them kind of matches where you're like, okay, I need to see this. Like, we've never seen it before. Jungle Boy's got a load of plaudits. Adam Cole as well. So it's something where you were like, okay, I need to see this, and it delivered for me. It was a fantastic opening to the show, and made Jungle Boy look great, made Adam Cole look great, and
not to digress, but I'll mention it just because they were involved. I come to the decision this week as well that the Good Brothers have given themselves the most honest fucking name that they can, because they're not great.
Yeah,
the only reason I think they did well in New Japan, and this is probably a bit harsh because of nothing against them, but the only reason I think they did well in New Japan is because they were surrounded by the right people. That's what that's what the elite and the super clique is. It's just like the ones with the personality have kind of carried them, because again, and this is unusual for me to defend WWE, but I don't think them not succeeding in WWE is entirely WWE's fault anymore.
No, I'll agree with that. Let's be honest. Luke Gallows, how many opportunities did he have in WWE to get over? Didn't happen.
Was he even take Kane at one point?
He was.
Come on.
I'm just not. To be fair to him as well, we did get a gimmick of Festus, but still, I just think
that was probably his most over one. That's shocking.
I know. But no, I'll agree with you. I think the Good Brothers are fucking terrible. They should be the Bear Brothers, damn it. Not a fan.
I'll go as far as to say they're good. They can kind of talk and they can kind of wrestle, and they probably deserve to be.
They're not even good. They are the weakest link of the elite.
They definitely are. They're the worst of the elite. But that's my point. They're good. Everyone else is great, but they're good.
Yeah.
Just exactly what they say on the tin.
The Meh Brothers. Fantastic opening to the show. I want to call out MJF this week. This is classic MJF. This is the MJF I've wanted to see for a long, long time. And he's been good, the last few weeks, months, he's MJF. But this is classic MJF, he came out, he was like, there's 4 pillars of AEW. But the fact is, without him, AEW ain't shit. He called out Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, himself, and who was the other one? Can't remember. Darby? Yeah, Darby.
Yeah, it's got to be Darby, isn't it?
It's got to be Darby, which is coincidental because who comes out but Darby? So, before that though, I think MJF was like, he was on form, right? He was like, of all the Khans in pro wrestling, Tony Khan's definitely in the top 2. So I'll pop for that, right? That's fucking brilliant, right? He said he's got Bruce Pritchard on speed dial, so instantly you're like, ooh, WWE crossovers, whatever. And then he basically goes after Darby, calls him a school shooter mime on a skateboard. Like, to be honest, I thought you would fucking love this because we know how you feel about Darby.
I've nothing against Darby.
He then, basically he's on about Darby's kind of Batman voice. I'm Darby.
Yeah.
I'm big, I'm strong. But yeah, and then, this is the thing where it's a little bit of a no shite, but obviously the whole thing's a highlight for me, is shit gets real because MJF in fucking fantastic fashion goes real, raw and real deep with it, and he basically talks about Darby's uncle getting into a, car accident. That's the reason why Darby is straight edge, and effectively says the wrong man died.
Fuck.
So you are just like
pretty brutal on Pillman, but
well, I mean, on Pillman, he said his fucking mother should have swallowed or whatever.
Actually, yeah, I'll be honest.
It was like okay, but
he's just savage all around, isn't he? Let's be honest.
He is. But this was just like, oh shit. But the thing I didn't like was, if there's ever a reason for someone to fucking beat your ass, it's for saying something like that, right? And Darby just goes like, "You're not gonna break me mentally," and it's just like, you fucking turd. Like, so Darby didn't come across in the best light in this, unfortunately. But MJF he was fucking on fire. And the fact is, regardless of how good or bad Darby is in a promo or anything like that, I fucking really want to see this match. I'd legit want to see it so bad.
Gotta give you that, to be honest. Like, I'm not. I think it's fairly common knowledge that I don't hate the guy. I'm not sold on Darby. Part of me doesn't get it, right? But I can't deny he's very good in the ring, and he's had some fantastic matches in AEW. And am I looking forward to this match? Yes, I fucking am.
Yeah,
so I'll give you that.
I'm a huge Darby Allin mark. He's one of my favourite kind of stars right now, to be fair. I think he's got everything. I think his promo this week didn't do him justice. I think the booking didn't do him justice. The fact he kind of just stood there and was like, I'm not going to let you break me mentally or whatever. It was fucking poor. Like, beat the shit out of MJF. He just said the wrong man died. Like, that is your calling, to beat the shit out of him. And he didn't do it.
That is the bit, like, that is classic, like, promo work, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where he hits him with the mic.
At the end of the day, there is a line. The line was, it was crossed many a time. But that's the point of no return.
The line was over there, Darby.
You're so far past the line. You don't even see the line. The line is a dot to you. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. But how much is it like classic promo work if he took the mic to say something back and then just clocked him?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's what you expect.
Like something, at the end of the day, he's the face. Like, people want to see MJF get his ass kicked.
Hating by numbers sometimes works. It's fine. Yes, it's predictable, but that's what you expect.
Yeah. So, yeah. All in all, it was a massive highlight. I think MJF is fantastic. I really do want to see Darby versus MJF. I'm not shitting on Darby in any way, really. I just think that wasn't the best way to get him over, is to basically not have him retaliate. So hopefully they'll see the error of their ways and rectify it next week. But yeah, fantastic segment. MJF back to being his best. Nah. Yeah. I did it, Daddy Stink. So yeah.
Nice. So my next one, Carl, and I feel like this might seem like an obvious choice, although I was a little bit dubious because I'm not big on Hardy's current
me neither.
Gimmick. Yeah. But the Dark Order going up against Old Orange himself and the Hardy Family Order, whatever you want to call them, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, it's actually really good. But I don't think it was actually really good for Hardy's side of it, if I'm honest with you. No offense. Like, don't be wrong, they all put on a good match, which potentially, I've always said this about matches this big, it could be messy, and I think they did manage it really well. But the reason it's a highlight for me, and the reason I was so enamored with it was, like, I think credit to like -1, like Brody Jr. Like, how fantastic was he? Like at his age as well, like paying homage to his dad, the whole bit with the paper and all that. It's just he hit the notes so perfectly in tribute to his dad that I couldn't not call this a highlight. It was fantastic. I love the fact that the Dark Order sort of played that same role, but to -1 instead of obviously Brody. Like it just worked, and I'm enamored with the whole thing, even just solely for that. But on top of that, it was a really good match as well.
Yeah, that's it. I think I can't agree anymore with anything you said. I think I'm not a fan of HFO in the slightest. Even Orange has been a bit meh of late, but I think obviously everything that was going on with the Dark Order, I just think fantastic moment for -1, for obviously John Huber's wife as well to come out, and even TJ just getting involved and stuff, and the whole thing kind of just coming to a head, and the Dark Order, stopping themselves from imploding and doing it for Brody was a lovely moment. And obviously post match getting Brody in the ring, and they're all just in there and doing their thing. I thought it was fantastic. Feel good moment all around, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Really good.
So the next one, Anthony, I want to talk about. I'm keen to get your thoughts on this because you said yourself Sammy isn't ready, but guess what, y'all? Sammy Guevara is... Guevara? Yeah, fuck it, we'll go with it. Sammy Guevara.
Sammy Guerrero.
Sammy Guerrero is our new TNT champ.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I thought it was awesome, to be fair. I know you think it's too soon. I think to a degree as well. I feel like Miro could have held it for a lot longer. They've really gone all in, no pun intended, on this whole, he's got a weakness for DDT kind of shit as well, which I don't hate, but it's also a bit odd. It's a bit kind of unusual, isn't it, to kind of have that, someone having this big weakness. But, all in all, Sammy, he's
classic video game move, that man.
Well, yeah, he's one of the, the core pillars, as MGF would say, and he's gone on. He's the second one now to win a title after Darby. So, yeah, made up for him, I think.
Are we going to get like a faction at some point of the four pillars? I think that's what he's hinting at eventually. Are they going to be like the Horsemen of the modern day?
I mean, could you imagine that? That'd be pretty fucking mad, to be fair. But no, I made up for Sammy. Obviously, friend of the show, cool guy. Well,
difficult bit
deserving for it, but
he so deserves it, and I am made up for him. Personally, I would have preferred Miro to have a longer run.
Yeah,
but you can't deny the fact that, like, even just the fact that everything he's done since all his vlogs and all that, he's just so made up to be given that opportunity, and I hope he fucking runs with it and does fantastic with it. So I don't want to be negative on it. That
was the biggest.
I will stand by my comments previously, probably last week, maybe before. I don't think he's ready for the TNT title, and I think Miro should have had it longer. But it's happened, and I hope it works out.
That was the biggest old man thing you've ever said. Vlog.
What's that?
Fucking vlog.
It's
a vlog. It's a vlog, Anthony. It's a vlog.
No, you can't just smash a letter in front of a word and then make a new word. It doesn't fucking work like that.
It's like a blog, but it's a video log, so it's a vlog. Come on,
no.
Vlog.
Video log. No, I'm standing by this. I'm not an old man. It's a vlog. Thank you.
Okay, this is a perfect time for a poll on Anchor, I think. Right? Anyone listening to this, is it vlog or vlog? Tell us. Vote on the poll. Yeah, no, I'm honestly made up for him. I think with Miro, you're right. He deserved to have a longer reign, absolutely. But whether this means he's going to go on to something else is almost like a bit of a, maybe heading towards the title picture, possibly. He's deserving of it. I guess the proof will be in the pudding. What is next for Miro? I think he came in as the best man. People shat all over that. He's now got this whole Redeemer thing. He's been talking a lot, obviously, in his promos around, his wife and all that kind of stuff. So will we see Lana kind of be the one to come in and almost like a carrying cross kind of thing of coming in and kind of getting him back on track? Who knows?
That we was a fallen prayer.
Well, yeah.
I've actually got this match playing in the background now, and I never noticed it the first time around. But someone's got a sign in the audience that's got Miro's face in the middle, and it says, "With God up high and my wife down low." Like, such a fucking brilliant sign.
It is good.
Sorry, just tickled me.
It is good. Yeah, so I think the match itself was a banger, and congratulations to Sammy, new champ Well deserved. But yeah, let's see what happens now going forward. Obviously, he's got a match with Bobby Fish this week coming up. Miro, let's see what happens. How he,
Can
how
he
he
beat a Fisher man?
repents to his God. So we'll see.
Indeed. So, next one, Carl, and I'm curious to know whether you agree, but how can you not give Thunder Rosa a highlight? We're still on the highlight. Yeah, we're in the highlights, yeah. How can you not give Thunder Rosa a highlight? An unusual pairing in some senses, where I say pairing, no one was in the team, with Thunder going up against Nyla and Jade Cargill. And let's say Thunder is probably the most seasoned one in that matchup. So it was never going to be a technical display. But I think I think Jade gets a lot of sort of negativity for how green she is and the few botches she's made. But, she's putting the work in. And I think we got to give this credit as a really good match. Not the best Thunder Rosa match I've ever seen, but obviously I think they all played it really well. And I think Jade, to be fair, is coming on leaps and bounds. And you can't deny, she still needs to develop technically in the ring compared to others, but who doesn't? Yeah, that made sense.
No, yeah, I agree. I think the match itself I thought was really good. It was a shame. Like, if I had one downside, I think it'd be the fact that Thunder was the one who took the pin. I think it should have been Nyla for me, because it could have kept Thunder strong, to obviously get to the
strong.
point. Well,
Thunder
obviously,
strong, man.
oh yeah,
Doesn't matter.
but I
Doesn't
think,
matter.
I think obviously we're going for Thunder Brit again at some point. Like, you've got to expect that. So yeah, it would have been nice for her not to eat the pin. But all in all, it was good. Obviously, Jade, I'm a big fan of. She's putting the work in. I don't know if you've seen the first episode of Roads to the Top, but I watched that last
No,
week.
I was busy.
Busy doing anything but watching that. Yeah, probably knowing you.
Yeah, I was
Um,
staring at the ceiling.
okay,
So,
yeah,
I was super, super busy.
makes
Couldn't
sense.
make it to Roads to the Top.
Makes sense. But no, I watched it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and obviously you get to see Jade and Red Velvet as well. Some of the stuff that they'd been through in terms of a bit of a personal rivalry and stuff like that. But you can see that Jade's putting the work in, and I think it is starting to come across in the ring. She's obviously a big talent for them, so it's important that they use her right. So it didn't offend me that she took the win. I just think it should have been Nyla maybe who took the loss on this occasion, because Nyla's been up there in the main events kind of scenes quite a bit, whereas Thunder not a lot, and I think she deserves it more at this point. So yeah, that was my only highlight. But all in all, the match I thought was good. Speaking of good matches, we had Bryan Danielson taking on Nick Jackson on Rampage.
Oh, seamless segue. Seamless.
Well, but yeah, a bit of a weird choice in terms of, well, let's put him up against one of the Young Bucks, but at the same time, it was fantastic delivered. Post-match as well, I thought was really good. Obviously, shenanigans always ensue, but it ended up with Danielson putting the label lock on Omega, and Jungle Boy putting some kind of chokehold on Adam Cole as well, which they seem to be like the little mini rivalries that happen, between the little factions. So, all in all, great match, great aftermath, and yeah, keeping me entertained in terms of the Elite versus this little, Jurassic Express and Christian.
And clearly, Road to the
Dennis.
Top keeps you entertained as well, you Mark.
It does. I enjoy it. Fuck you. I like it. It's good. So yeah, oh shite, Anthony. What's your first one? Funnily enough.
I feel almost bad giving it an oh shite, because like I've had a field day with it, like since it happened. But
from a meme perspective, it's been fantastic.
From a meme perspective, but the Cody Arn stuff was a miss for me. I know some people have loved it and they're like, "Oh, Arn's a savage," but when you take away the fun of it, it wasn't good. I don't think it worked. And this is, don't be wrong, if they're gonna if he's going to turn on Cody, and I've long thought that Cody should turn heel, so maybe it's an opportunity for him to take umbrage to Arn and maybe attack him. But I just don't feel like they're going to do any of that, because I don't think they're even aware that Cody should be a heel just yet. I don't know. There's probably going to be another redemption thing, isn't it? I need to get back on form, and Arn's going to show me.
I hope not. I think they'll be self-aware enough to know the reactions he's been getting are bad, so he needs to. They've done everything they need to do to kind of get the launch of Road to the Top, and he's a good guy, and yeah, everyone watch it. But now he should really use this as like a, almost a vehicle to kind of be a bit too arrogant and always a megastar now kind of thing, almost like heel Rock when he broke the movies. I feel
well,
like
that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's a fair point because
do something like that.
it just needs to happen, and it is only a character thing. I mean, as a person, like every interview I've seen him do, he's such an affable guy. He's such a friendly guy. I could listen to him all day telling stories about the business and how he got into the business and stuff. But this isn't him as a person. This is him as a character, and it's just like it just comes across as just so self-involved. And it's like, for fuck's sake, just turn heel. Turn heel. You're naturally a heel right now, anyway. Do it.
Yeah.
So I hope that's where they go. But yeah, it didn't work for me. Although I had a lot of fun with the Arn Anderson memes.
I mean, to be honest, it was the Arn Anderson speech that was the main kind of detractor for me. It wasn't even necessarily the Cody stuff. It was, I don't know, just... I'm a big fan of Arn. He's a legend, of course he is. But I just think... I wasn't digging it. Just like, yeah, you're the kind of guy who get out the car and go, take my car, but me, I'd have a Glock. And it's like, all right. Okay, Arn.
Is he going to shoot him?
Come on, Granddad. It's okay. You know, those kind of vibes I got. So, wasn't a big fan of Arn's promo. Was the main downside for me. In terms of O'Shite as well, keen to get your thoughts on this. On paper, you know, you've got Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, Darby Allin together, teaming in a match. You know, star power. It's got to be good, right? Yeah, it wasn't. And it didn't make any sense either. So they went up against Bear Country and Anthony Green. Why? Why did this happen? Why is Darby in there too?
I don't. The only difference I'd say really is that I probably wouldn't have called it an O'Shite. It was a bit of nothingness really. And considering the people in it, that's probably what makes it an O'Shite. Because considering the people in it, it probably should have been more than it was. Yeah. But it was just a bit meh, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. But at the same time, I think it is just the fact that you've got these main stars, and it's like, well, let's get him on the show. But what a pointless thing to get him on the show for. Like, they've got stuff going on between themselves in their own little rivalries. You've got Darby and MJF. You've got, you know, stuff going on with Moxley and everybody in fucking Japan. You've got Kingston and, you know, cutting promos on, you know, packets of biscuits and that. So you would think they would have done something better than just going, well, I don't know, we'll put him against Bear Country and Anthony Green. Okay then. Yeah, didn't make any sense to me, unfortunately. Which leads us to our final O'Shite.
Yep, I think we can both agree. The last one, hair versus hair as a main event. We both agreed last week. I don't think this was going to work anyway, and it pretty much delivered on that promise. It did not work. Yeah,
no, it just felt like you know, almost a shock value kind of point, didn't it? It was like, well, I know I'll get people to watch. We'll have a hair versus hair match. But obviously, Orange Cassidy cutting the promo beforehand, where he was like, "Oh, what? What's this for? What's happening? What, my hair? Oh, I guess I better win then." And it was like.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so I think all in all, I agree. It was very meh. But in terms of ratings, Anthony, I have to give it a 3. 3 out of 5 for me, Dynamite this week. Well, AEW this week.
I feel like I do this to you all the time at the minute, but I'm going to have to agree on a 3.
Okay. I think it was definitely better than WWE. But yeah, it didn't blow us away either. So yeah, 3 out of 5 for AEW, 2 out of 5 for WWE. And even though other stuff did potentially happen in the world of wrestling, I didn't watch any of it. I know Braun Strowman or Adam Scherr was in some weird thing, but it wasn't really a wrestling match. So
no, for us there wasn't really a lot of. I mean, we dip in and out of the other promotions, don't we? So there wasn't really a lot for us this week. But yeah, all in all, still a good week for wrestling.
It was. And we will be back to talk all the latest news, rumours, and happy haps in the world of wrestling after a word from the lovely Thunder Rosa.
Hey everybody, this is Thunder Rosa, and you're watching or listening A2theK. A2theK.
A2theK.